Hi, I'm Phil Coutu, and you're live. I am live with Insurance Claims Radio. We've got some hosts in here today. We got a prominent contractor, Ryan, with Blue Ribbon Contracting, 720-975-4253. We've got a public adjuster. If you don't know what a public adjuster is, it's your own private adjuster. So if you have a dispute with an insurance company, they will take a small percentage of the claim and they will fight your claim for you if they feel it's valid. His name is James D'Angelo. He has over 35 years experience in the business of insurance restoration and many, many years in public adjusting. He works the state of Colorado, also across the country, and he specializes in hail claims, hurricane claims, primarily from those covered perils, wind, and he specializes in a troubled claim, a claim that was denied, paid partially, you might feel is underpaid. My name is Phil Coutu, and I'm your host. I'm the owner of RooftopRoofing.com, PowerAppraisers.com, PowerAdjusters.com, and several others. I have over 34 years experience in this industry. I've owned catastrophe adjusting companies. I've run many adjusters for the insurance industry, and I'm also a licensed public adjuster. We're here today to discuss several things. Some of the policy elements we're going to talk about are when your insurance company asks you for a sworn proof of loss. I'm going to explain really quick to our listeners. This is a really big deal because it's a policy condition. So you might think you have a $500,000 claim. Maybe your PA or roofer told you this, or maybe your neighbor told you, so you thought that. And the insurance adjuster hands you a proof of loss and it says maybe $20,000 on it or some really low number. When they hand you that proof of loss, standard policy language says that you should turn that in within 30 to 60 days. If you don't, you've actually violated your policy. There are precedents set around the country where if you don't turn that on when you've been asked for it, they can actually deny part or all of your claims. So it's very important. You don't have to agree to their number, or you can put partial proof of loss on it. So we want to bring this out to our listeners because this is starting to come up a lot where it's handed to you on site or it's sent in an email. You don't know what it is, and so you don't do anything. I have a personal claim right now where it wasn't handed in on time, and it's better to get it in late than never, because if you prejudice the insurance company, it could be millions of dollars if you have a large loss commercial claim. Our show here today is we're going to talk about some of these elements, and we want you to be aware of how important it is to have true professionals. That's why we've got Ryan here and James. Myself also, I specialize in commercial troubled claims across the U.S. I have an emphasis, I have a specialty in hail damage. So James, anything you want to shed light on when it comes to sworn proof of loss?
Well, you brought out the most important part, Phil. One is, how do I say this? You want to be involved with your claim. You don't want to assume anything unless you're hiring people to handle it for you. And I'm not suggesting that you have to hire a public adjuster or hire your own adjuster, but if you don't, you want to be hands-on. That proof of loss is a legal document. That is you claiming, for better or for worse, this is the amount of the damage. Phil, you brought up, if you don't agree with the amount on there, you need to go in and write, this is a partial proof of loss. We have not concluded my claim at this point. And besides that, you only have 30 days to return it or 60 days to return it, depending upon the policy. You have other duties in that policy that you have to abide by. And the proof of loss or request for a proof of loss is part of it.
Right, so we want to bring that to the policyholders because insurance companies, they're looking out for their best interests. We want to say who's looking out for yours. Being an insurance adjuster working for the industry, and I still occasionally consult with them, and there's some very good insurance companies, but you want to always get a second or third opinion. And you want to get a qualified contractor who's been in business many, many years, has experience, good references, check him out, but experience is key. Ask for his CV, ask for his resume, see what he's done. We are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Insurance Claims Radio. Do you have a commercial hail claim, troubled hail claim, underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, all the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com. Hi, I'm Phil Coutu, and we are back with Insurance Claims Radio. We're speaking about sworn proofs of loss, and we're just talking about how important it is to respond to that. If you don't know, you can get a public adjuster, someone like James D'Angelo. He can be reached at 303-885-3731. The important is to respond to it within that 30 or 60-day window. You need to understand your responsibilities as an insured, and you don't want to blow parts of your coverage or all your coverage or a disputed claim because you didn't follow your policy conditions. So if you don't know it or you don't have time to read your policy, you want to hire what is known as a public adjuster, which is your own private adjuster, or get a really good experienced contractor. There is legislation to limit some of the things they can talk about insurance, just so you know, but often if you're correct, they can get you pointed in the right direction, and they can at least establish what are real damages related to hail, wind, fire, interior water leakage. Very, very important. My guest to the right of me is Ryan with Blue Ribbon Contracting. He can be reached at 720-975-4253, and I'm Phil Coutu. You can check us out at Rooftop Roofing and PowerAppraisers.com. 720-296-3492. You can call or you can text me. So it's very important. We said about the sworn proof loss. Now, what do you do if you have a huge discrepancy with your insurance company? What should you do? There are several avenues. We're going to talk about, like a lot of people think you got to go straight to get an insurance attorney. Problem with that is they're going to generally charge you about a third. So if you have $1 million claim and they charge you a third or say 30%, that's $300,000 you're going to eat. Contact my company. We specialize in covering attorney's fees and large deductibles, carrying them or carrying it out for you, where we can make sure it doesn't cost you part of the property damage. Then there's another dispute mechanism, a dispute resolution mechanism contained within the insurance policy. This is called the appraisal process. Many people don't know it exists. And it basically states, there's generic appraisal policy language, but it states something like this. In the event that a policyholder or the insurance company invoke the appraisal clause, the two independent appraisers must choose an umpire. Most policies require that two appraisers must select and agree upon an appraisal umpire within 15 to 20 days of the two appraisers being named. The chosen appraisal umpire must be an impartial, unbiased, and disinterested party in the outcome of the appraisal award. That's kind of it in a nutshell, and it's really an important clause because that's not going to cost you 30%. And you can even go to an attorney after the appraisal. So what the appraisal is saying is that, hey, the insurance company has to pay out of pocket their own appraiser. You, the consumer policyholder, have to pay your own appraiser. You know, on a residential appraisal, I would budget on the low end $1,500 to $3,500 out of pocket. On a commercial claim, I would budget anywhere from $10,000 to way up there. If it's multi-million-dollar claim, maybe as much as $100,000. It's small percentage points, but often appraisals can go from tens of thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands, or low hundreds of thousands to millions. I've done over 250 appraisals myself, either as an umpire or an appraiser over the last 15 years. And it's a great dispute mechanism because it's fraction of pennies on the dollar versus going to an attorney. The fantastic thing about an appraisal using the dispute mechanism known as appraisal in your policy is that it can be a lot cheaper, and you'll get people that really understand the construction parts, which sometimes attorneys don't fully grasp because they're not living and breathing this. So it's very, very important. James, you got anything to say about appraisal?
Yeah, well, what I wanted to talk about, you mentioned you could go straight to litigation, you could go straight to an attorney. There's some real challenges there, and let's speak to those a minute. One of the best or the biggest challenges is You may have your own attorney, but if he doesn't or she doesn't work in this space, property damage claims, you're going to pay for their education. That is a big learning curve for them. This is its own entity. Most of the attorneys you see advertising on TV, they handle bodily injury insurance claims, but you don't see advertised property insurance claims. It's a very small niche. That's only the first hurdle, though. Let's say you find one of the prominent property attorneys that work in the industry. You still have to have your claim adjusted. They don't adjust your claim for you. So if the insurance company's at X and you want Y, you still have the obligation to produce the documents and the evidence. The attorney's not going to do that. You need to find yourself someone, either a public adjuster like myself or someone in the industry, or a good contractor that knows both sides, like Mr. Coutu here with Rooftop or Ryan, that can produce the documents necessary to give to the attorney. Remember, attorneys don't adjust claims.
That's a really important fact. I work and consult with a lot of attorneys, and I'll often go out and write the entire claim for them, or I'll do an assessment for them. You've got all these competing opinions from insurance company engineers to their engineer. A lot of times they'll hire me to get them to the honest truth to cut through the chase. And that's something here at Rooftop, our power appraisers, and some of our other companies that we can come out will give you a free, honest evaluation. Because, of course, there's a lot of money at stake, and a lot of people just see the money. So they're going to maybe not give you always the fair assessment on damage or the fair assessment on pricing. So it's really good to have one of our experts on the panel come out, and they can help you through the process. They know your policy inside and out. They'll help you comply with the requirements. There's duties of the insured after the loss. If you've suffered a big hailstorm or a windstorm and there's a whole patch of your roof missing from wind and it's leaking, and you do nothing for months, there's a good chance that that additional damage from when you knew it was damaged within a reasonable amount of time and you didn't tarp that roof could not be covered. There's an exclusion in the policy for that. You have an obligation to try to protect your property. These are things that the experts on the panel can help you with. Also, I mean, it's important, like James said, to find a really good attorney. We advise them. There's some great attorneys out there, but you know what? They're not construction damage experts. They don't live and breathe that side of it. They live and breathe the insurance side, the bad faith side. Now in Colorado too, one of the things that our company can help you with is if the insurance company was really, really unfair and they dragged their feet and were involved, we'll fund all the costs. We'll take control of your claim, make it as headache-free as possible. Once we win the claim, either settling with the insurance or using the appraisal clause, if there was a huge discrepancy, like we've had claims, we've just had one recently, it was like $300,000 that settled up over $1.5 million. We will litigate that sometimes on your behalf, or we'll get you to the right people, because there are damages when the insurance company on a property insurance claim damages you. And they should be held accountable because they'll keep doing it to other people. Not every claim obviously should be litigated, and sometimes it's small discrepancies, 10, 20, 30%. Might seem like a lot to you, but we're talking when there's major claims, when you've presented them evidence. You got hit by your baseball-sized hail and they're saying, oh, there's a cosmetic exclusion, we don't know for that. Those are type of claims to call one of our experts. If you call me, let's give you the red flags. I have a church. It got hit by a baseball hail or a 2-inch hail. I've got a metal roof. The insurance company says we don't have coverage. You should get a second opinion. Sometimes the way the policy is written is ambiguous, and you do have coverage, even though the insurance company says you don't. Other times you have wind damage, and their engineer says, oh, it's repairable, and you get your expert or one of our experts, and they're like, no way. This is going to be continuing damage because everything's been lifted and weakened. Shingles have been snapped back. They're only writing for a small percentage. That's when you need another opinion. These are very, very important things. Plus, when you go to sell that building, you might be paying out of pocket for a $500,000, $1 million roof because somebody told you had $20,000 damage. Don't rely on other people's experts. Call us at Rooftop or one of the guys on the panel and get your own experts. That's what we specialize in. We do laboratory testing. A lot of times there's hidden damage.
Phil, I want to interrupt you here. Didn't I do a project with you that you brought out a wind test that you have one of the few in the country?
Yeah, we're one of a handful of contractors across North America that we have $20,000 plus was like 10,000, 9,000 for the training for a wind uplift chamber. I don't know if there's another one in Colorado. Last I checked about a year ago, there wasn't. And that's a great tool to do wind uplift tests. It can actually snap the fasteners in the membrane of a flat roof and tell us what the design pressure is of that fastener, because maybe it was partially lifted before. So that's something we use. There's also a lot of codes too, guys, that kick in. That some contractors aren't aware of, a lot of attorneys aren't. There's a 25% rule down in Colorado Springs. So if 25% of a complete slope gets damaged, you're getting a new roof. And then as Ryan was speaking in an earlier show, he was talking about a 1 square rule. Do you want to talk about that, Ryan?
Yeah, the 1 square rule is if there's 1 square damage in that particular county, that the whole roof has to be replaced. So if you're not aware of that or you don't understand the building code, and typically it's not something that adjusters are going to tell their homeowners.
So if a customer is missing 1 square, what county? Is there a few counties you're specifically speaking about?
Thornton is for sure one of them. We get that in Thornton, Brighton. Up north, they have it where there's high wind areas. Go ahead, James.
Once again, insurance adjusters from the carrier can't pay what they don't know. There is a high turnover for them. Insurance adjusters don't last in that position a very long period of time.
Well, I'm an insurance adjuster myself. I've worked for the carrier and I also work independently for you, the public. And a lot of times hurricanes will hit or big storms and you'll get pulled out of a storm. You're on the catastrophe team. That's an independent adjuster that comes out. He might be in a place for a short period of time. So we're going to get to that after the break. You're live with Insurance Claims Radio. I'm your host, Phil Coutu. Check us out at rooftoproofing.com. We'll be right back. Do you have a commercial hail claim? Troubled hail claim? Underpaid claim? Missed damages? Bad faith? Possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, all the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com. Hi, we're back with Insurance Claim Radio. I'm your host, Phil Coutu. Check us out at rooftoproofing.com. You can call or text me personally at 720-296-3492. I handle all kinds of claims, predominantly large loss troubled claims. If you've had a claim that's denied, underpaid, they told you there's no damage, they told you your roof's repairable, your exterior's repairable, we don't pay for that, you have a cosmetic exclusion. These are all things you want to definitely get a second opinion by somebody on our panel. I'm also live with a prominent public adjuster with over 35 years experience. This guy's the real deal. His name is James D'Angelo. 303-885-3731. I'm also sitting here with a very reputable contractor. His name is Ryan. He's with Blue Ribbon Contracting. He services all of Colorado for residential and commercial roofing and insurance claims. His phone number is 720-975-4253. Okay, guys, we are back. We're talking about why you should seek professional help. One of our big questions, we're getting into insurance appraisal, which is a dispute mechanism. We talked about a sworn proof of loss, which is a policy condition. So let's talk about some of the things that we can do when you have a denied claim. Ryan, you're a contractor. Do you handle a lot of it yourself? Do you push it to a public adjuster, an attorney?
I think it's very rare that you have to get involved with a attorney or a public adjuster. I think only 1% to 2% of our claims ever go to that point. It really depends. Just like people, there's bad adjusters out there that don't want to get the loss fixed to the way it is. But it's not something that I think the listeners need to go, oh my goodness, they're going to call an attorney or they're going to get. at least from my experience, very rare that you really have to do that. It just depends what the situation is. We have a job that we're working up north that the wind has blown off the ridge in a bunch of different areas, and the adjuster just didn't want to take care of it. He wanted to go back with 3-tab. The county said that you can't use that type of shingle, and we got into an argument with it. It's one that we took to appraisal. So we try to negotiate and work everything out with the carrier as much as we can before we go to what I consider the next step of appraisal, and then getting litigation involved, because that's we really want to try to work with the carrier and show them why that damage has existed and why it's there. And I think from that side, it's a rare deal. I will tell people that we don't go unless it's absolutely necessary. We don't think that the customer is getting the right kind of solution for their roof that they deserve.
Yeah, so let's be clear. There's some really high quality contractors out there. I also specialize in public adjusting, so I get a lot more of the really troubled claims. But even 15, 20 years ago when I ran my roofing company, we had these claims. We could settle a good portion of them. And that was really, really a big deal, because it saves the client a lot of issues, right? Because people are scared of litigation. One thing down here at rooftoproofing.com, if you truly have a troubled claim and we agree with you, we'll do a free analysis and we will take care of all the costs. We can carry insurance deductibles on large condo commercial buildings, finance them over 2 to 5 years. We will pick up the experts. So when you want to win a claim, the burden of proof lies on you, the insured, and often there's a lot of expert costs. People are scared of that. If we believe in your claim, we will look and let you know if we're going to cover that. Experts can range from a structural engineer. It can range from hiring a meteorologist to determine the angle the storm came in, the size of the hail, the 3-second or 5-second wind gusts. It can range for laboratory testing to see if that hail punctured a shingle or damaged it. Was it just loss of granular? Is the insurance claiming wear and tear? These are all red flags where you really should get a second opinion. Sometimes the insurance company's right. They've got a great adjuster. They're honest. It's not always if an insurance company is a good or bad insurance company. Sometimes it's the people at the helm or the adjuster you get, or your contractor gets off on the wrong foot with them. There's all kinds of things that can happen. I've ran adjusters. I've lived and breathed the insurance side. Often most of my work now comes from the other side, but I still consult with insurance companies privately. So you've got options. You can litigate, but that can be quite costly. Sometimes insurance appraisal or just a public adjuster is the best way to go. Other times, too, the contractor, like Ryan's saying here, he's got less than 1 to 2% that get in that position. So that there's a great contractor with a high ratio of getting the claim settled, getting the work done for you. These are all things that are important. We're going to talk, too, about some of the missing things that we're seeing out there. A lot of times insurance companies now, they're not going to pay for the vents. They got hit by hail. Or they didn't get hit by hail. They're under an overhang, so we're not going to pay for those. Reuse the old vents. That's not cool. That's not cool because there's nail holes in the flashing around it. You'd have to have your roofer over shingle hit that nail head perfectly to have the same close type of seal. Often, too, to do the step flashing, they want you to reuse step flashing. Well, your step flashing's got kind of holes in it, gets bent, damaged. There's codes out there. Insurance adjusters just don't know. Those codes revolve around damaged or bent flashing. They revolve around rusted flashings and even have a little bit of rust on them. It says you can't use those anymore. When you're using some of these roofing companies out there, they're reusing those products. You might think their price is way higher. You don't understand all the components. You want to hire a good contractor. Price should not be the main thing to you. Your insurance company's paying for it. You're paying a deductible. Get that good contractor. Sometimes there's a great contractor, might be lower than insurance company. If you're comfortable with them, that's okay, but I would check out why he's lower. Almost always it's the other way around. What are you seeing out there these days when it comes to, say, a roofing component like step flashing? Any insurance companies fighting you on that?
They fight on step flashing. I think they fight on drip edge because drip edge has been added in some counties where it's not out. So we get into, and I don't want to confuse the customers, but what they consider law and ordinance. So what an upgrade is to meet the county code, which most policies have. So we've gone in and had to argue that. We just won one that they had offered 7,000, and we got it up to around 12. And you shouldn't reuse step flashing if it's been banged up, like Phil said, with multiple holes. And they also don't want to pay for head wall flashing. I mean, that's the other thing is that you get into. They want to keep using the same head wall flashing.
Yeah, let's talk about head wall flashing. That's the flashing when you're looking up at your roof that would go up maybe a wall facing you under a window with a siding. I have that problem all the time. A lot of times the head wall flashing has nails too high on it. Good roofing practices as defined by NRCA, and there's also Colorado construction defect laws. Sometimes reusing those metals is in violation of that. The insurance company just doesn't want to pay for the head wall flashing because then they might have to take off the siding and paint a whole wall. There's a lot of issues, and really contractors that have experience been in this business, they can hold the insurance company accountable. And a lot of other contractors can't. And it's really a big deal when we're talking about insurance claims. Another one is the furnace vent. They just pay like $50 to $70 for a furnace vent. A furnace vent can cause death. It's carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. It is not cool to have a roofer change that. The pipe can come apart. So you know what? Sorry, Mr. Insurance Company, you're going to have to pay the $300 extra bucks for the HVAC guy to come out. They owe that, and they owe the overhead and profit. My name is Phil Coutu. I'm here with Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting. You're listening to Insurance Claims Radio. We can be reached at, Ryan, to my right, can be reached at 720-975-4253. He services Colorado. Myself, I'm a public adjuster and a contractor who specializes in large loss troubled claims. I can be reached or text to 720-296-3492. Check us out at rooftoproofing.com. Take care till next time. Do you have a commercial hail claim? Troubled hail claim? Underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles? All the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com.